Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is, of course, March 6, 2017. We finished an amazing show, of which we are now broadcasting live on demand, Alternative Media Television, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. So make sure to tune in, join us, support us. Please subscribe on demand. Thank you to all of our truth warriors. So I wanted to do an exclusive video on the topic, will Donald Trump put a stop, don't do it, Donald, put a stop to the surveillance state? Will he end the spying of the National Spying Agency, the data mining through companies like FaceCrook, where you're tuning into right now, or Uscrew, or Google, or Alphabet? Will he put an end to that mass surveillance, an Orwellian spy grid, unlike anything we've seen before in human history? Donald J. Trump inherits the most vast spying system in the history of the world. We have never before seen this. It's not an exaggeration, and I'm not being hyperbolic. Everything you do is being data mined. Everything you say is being recorded, filtered into the gatekeepers in a system which keeps a check on you, a check and a balance, that in any time their surveillance state deems necessary, it can and will use this information against you. So Donald Trump's talking a lot about Barack Obama spying on him and his campaign, right? Isn't that what we're hearing, FaceCrook? He's talking a lot about the fact that Obama, the Dems, George Soros, Hillary Clinton, and others had been spying on him prior to his democratic, constitutional republic, really, election. Well, that's great. I would suggest we know with probably 100% degree of certainty that those aren't just allegations, it's the truth. But are you going to put a stop to illegal surveillance, Donald Trump? Are you going to stop spying on me and my grandma? Because if the answer is no, you, sir, are part of the problem. What the NSA is doing is illegal. It is criminal. It is anti-constitutional. This is something our founding fathers knew all too well. So unless Donald's going to put a stop to all this right away, unless he's going to do that, and he can do it right now, he can sign an executive order right now to put a stop to the illegal spying of you and me. But will he? And you see, that's the greater point. Donald Trump, nor is any president really in charge. The shadow government is. People behind the smoking room. The bankster elite are. The criminal Federal Reserve System is. People like George Soros are. Not Trump. And isn't that the point? We think we have a republic here in the United States of America. The libs think that this is some kind of democracy, even though it isn't. It's not. Powerful corporations run this country. They own the world. And so we can engage in identity politics, FaceCrook. We can engage in the two-party system, an illusion, Uscrew. But that's all it is. And all this is a spin job. All Donald Trump is, and I love the guy, I think he's a great guy. I think he can do a lot of good for the country. But all he is a publicist for Trump Inc. He's spinning the story, and he's spinning the narrative. That's exactly what he's doing. So I say, stop the surveillance state, Donald Trump. End the egregious criminal wars in the Middle East. Shut down and abolish the Federal Reserve System. Put these Goldman Sachs bankster friends of yours up in the public sphere to stand and face trial. And if convicted for their crimes, the ones that stole from us in 2008 and 2009, through trillion-dollar bailouts, send them to jail if convicted by a jury of their peers. But will he really do that, America? Is he really going to stop spying on you and your grandma? Is he going to sign an executive order today to prevent the TSA from putting their hand down your pants? You see, I kind of like it when they put their hand down my pants. I'm like, hey, check it out down there. But a lot of people don't. Your grandma doesn't. Innocent little boys and little girls don't like hands down their pants. Those people, I've seen this. It's almost brought in tears in my eyes. People in wheelchairs being felt up by, people that are disabled, being felt up by the TSA because they allegedly might have a shoe bomb, even though that is bullshit and a creation of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Service. The whole point I'm trying to make here is that Trump really isn't in charge. The two-party system, all it is an illusion. There are people behind in the corridors of Washington, D.C., in the smoking rooms, in the depths of the underworld that makes up Washingtonian politics that are really running things. And the only thing that's being done right now and being spun is identity politics, right-left paradigm, blah, blah. We've been here so many times before, and I'm tired of it. I'm sorry. I know Obama's a scumbag. Yes, I know and realize that he wiretapped you, Trump. You knew that way long in advance, too. This is just a spin job. It is ridiculous to think that the right and left both don't spy on each other. Of course they do. It is ridiculous to think that the United States government, for example, doesn't hack the elections in Russia. Of course they do. Or that Russia doesn't hack the elections here. Of course they do. The United States federal government doesn't just hack elections overseas. They use force and violence to overthrow and topple governments they deem fit to accomplish very specific political objectives. Whether or not this is in the Middle East, it's in Iraq, it's in Afghanistan, it's Syria, or anywhere else, it's Ukraine. They don't just hack elections, they kill people. But I don't hear that being talked about in the news at all. Because again, you're just being fed lies. The story, the real story, isn't that Donald Trump was wiretapped by Obama. It's that they're engaging us in identity politics and keeping you focused on that two-party paradigm and system. That's the distraction. When the real focus should be, hey, maybe Donald Trump should also put a stop to the surveillance state. Maybe Donald Trump should also stop these wars overseas, splitting up Syria, giving part of it to Turkey, which it looks like to be the game plan, spending some of it off to the Kurds, the rest of the United States to keep this destabilizing effect going on ad infinitum, into infinity. Perpetual endless war, perpetual infinite endless war. That's the agenda. And it's the same agenda when it comes to politics. Keep people bickering, keep CNN and the mainstream media at war with alternative media and all this kind of stuff. We should be asking more difficult questions of our leadership and also pointing out the fact, and isn't this the problem? I'll close with this. Trump doesn't really run the show. Someone else does.